it right. Shalom, shalom. I'd like to start off by saying, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Kol Elohim La, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash, from the linemen to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Well, blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that scattered abroad, the Akim and the Akbar that's listening in. Yahweh Razazah, willing that the lesson is edifying. It's the brother Shawab Amawan back at you with another lesson. And the title of this lesson is Blackouts coming this summer. Right? And again, you know, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah said that he will smite Babylon, right? Smite Egypt with the plagues as before. All right, and that was a plague that was put upon Egypt in those days. That there was, you know, it was just straight darkness. Okay? As a matter of fact, let's start off with this is second. This is Exodus 10 and 20. It says, but the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai hardened Pharaoh's heart so that he would not let the children of Israel go. And the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai said unto Moses, stretch out thine hand toward heaven, that there may be darkness over the land of Egypt, even darkness which may be felt. And Moses stretched forth his hand toward heaven, and there was a thick darkness in all the land of Egypt 3 days. They saw not one another, neither rose any from his place for 3 days, while all the children of Israel had light in their dwellings. Yeah, because we're going to have Yahweh Shai as our light. All right, when these lockdowns come and they start cutting out power out here, because best believe it's the elites that are cutting out these powers. All right, we're not going to have nothing to be afraid of because we have Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai that lights up our path. You see? He is our shining light in the darkness. Matter of fact, let's grab that. This is 1 Thessalonians 5 and 5. Ye are the children of the light and the children of the day. We are not of the night, nor of darkness. Therefore, let us sleep as do others. Let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. For they that sleep in the night, that's I've doubled up on the words. For they that sleep in the night, and they that be drunken are drunken in the night. But let us who are of the day be sober, putting on the breastplate of faith and love, and for an helmet to the hope of salvation. All right. So we're considered as the children of the light. Yeah, because we have the truth. And us having this truth, again, we're able to light up our path. All right. We're able to maneuver through the darkness. Because when you don't have this light, you're in complete darkness. You're in complete not knowing what's going on. All right, but let me go into Second Ezra real quick. Bring this out because I've been bringing this out this week a lot. Spirit of the Lord, though. All right, It says, Second Ezra 15 and 11, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm and smite Egypt, America, with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. And again, one of those plagues was what? Complete darkness at the time of Egypt, all right, the time of Pharaoh. It was complete darkness for 3 days. Okay? And you got to think about it on the Lord's time, the Lord's clock. 1,000 years is 1 day to the Lord. So imagine what a day, well, how much a day is. A day might be a month. A day might be 2 weeks. All right? So, you know, the Lord, when the time comes for this summer to come around, oh, best believe that it's going to be blackouts. Because you hear these damn devils talking about it on a constant basis. All right? Let me grab that real quick. These couple articles that I got. Right? It says, summer blackouts bring deadly risk as heat. All right? And, you know, once the power go out, man, a lot of people going to be in difficult times. See? Here it is that you in the middle of a hot girl summer, all right, hot boy summer, whatever you want to call it. Thinking shit is sweet. You know, you going into your house and because it's so hot, you know, and you're comfortable in your AC, and boom, your AC gets cut off. A lot of people, you already know that when the heat kicks in, people get aggy, they get aggravated easily. All right. So imagine these people that have no power. All right. And if they cutting off lights for days on out. All right, Jake gets stupid. Jake get real dumb when it comes to the, you know, situations like that. Jake get bored. So they end up doing stupidity, mischief. Okay? Let me go into that article. It says a hot, deadly summer is coming with frequent blackouts. See? So these damn elites already telling you that they're gonna give you blackouts in the summertime. And a lot of people don't believe it. They laugh, but when their ass ain't got no power and all the food in their fridge is going bad, you see, can't even go to the store and buy because there's no power. So what's the point of you trying to put something back in the fridge? That's when people gonna get uncomfortable, agitated. All right. The love of many is gonna wax cold. Okay. So it says there won't be enough energy supplies to go around as sweltering heat boosts power demand in the months ahead, putting lives at risk. See, putting lives at risk. Telling you that there's going to be mass death off of that alone. It says, global power grids are about to face their biggest test in decades with electricity generation strangled in the world's largest economies. All right? And the best thing to do to be prepared for these things is to have what? A generator. All right? But even that is not going to last too long because how you going to be able to go get gas from the gas stations? They're digitally used. That's all based on power to run the machine. So if there's no power, that means there's no gas. There ain't nobody to pump your gas. Unless you have gas ahead of time, you know, pretty much in the cut. Have it in your shed, have it in your garage. You know, you kind of storing a little bit of gas. Well, then you might be able to survive for a little bit, but it's still temporary. It's going to be at one point that you're going to lose that gas. That gas is going to run out. So it says, war, drought, production shortages, historically low inventories, and pandemic backlash. Energy markets across the planet have been put through the ringer over the past year, and consumers have suffered the consequences of soaring prices. But somehow things are on track to get even worse. See, and through the Spirit, brother's been talking about that over and over and over again. How our times on this earth is going to get rougher and rougher. All right? That's the time of Jacob's trouble. Let's grab that real quick. Jeremiah 30. This is Jeremiah 30. And 7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Matter of fact, let's start from 4. And these are the words that the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah. All right, northern kingdom and southern kingdom. Ask ye now and see whether a man does travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. It says, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it, is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. All right, and when you go into that time of Jacob's trouble, all right, that word trouble goes into Sarah, which means what? Straight, distress, trouble, vexer, revival wife. All right, Osalakia, rival wife. You know, one that's going to turn against you. You know, you guys think that, you know, you having these women now, you're thinking that everything is all good. All right. But at the end of the day, when the time comes, these women that you with, they're going to play a certain role. Okay. These women are going to turn into Job's wife. They're going to start cursing the Most High out, cursing out the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, when things ain't going the way they thought it would go or planned to be. You know, when these women start starving, all right, she gonna play that role of Job's wife and start cursing your ass out, and then she gonna start cursing the Lord out, man. And the Lord gonna humble her ass. Okay? But the point was that this is the time of Jacob's trouble is what? Straight, distress, trouble, vexer, and rival wife. All right. Let me go back into that article. So it says, so it says, another one would be, actually, you know what? Let me finish that article. Says, but somehow things are on track and to get even worse. Blame the heat. Summer in the much of the northern hemisphere is a typical peak for electricity use. This year, it's going to be sweltering as climate change tightens its grip. It's already so hot in parts of South Asia that the air temperatures are blistering enough to cook raw salmon. It says, scientists are predicting scorching months ahead for the U.S. Power use. For the U.S., power use will surge as homes and businesses crank up air conditioners. The problem is that energy supplies are so fragile that there just won't be enough to go around, and power cuts will put lives at risk when there are no fans or air conditioners. It says, when there are no fans or air conditioners to provide relief from searing temperatures. Shalom, shalom, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua Barakatah. And gas is so expensive, people are only buying enough to fill up their car. Exactly, because you're already paying, I know for me to fill up my tank, my little ass car, it's $70, man, to fill up. Comes out to like $68. That shit is killing me too, because I gotta drive about 35 minutes to my job when I gotta go to work. Then I go to, you know, an hour away on Saturdays to go teach with brothers. That shit alone is killing my pockets, man. So imagine those, all right, when they lock this down, they have to try to go get gas. And again, like I said before, if they cut out power, most of these gas stations are all based on power. They're all digital machines, all that. You need power to run. And if, let's say, they are open, because you got some old school that they're not digital yet. They're still like the old school gas stations, okay? But they're going to be taking advantage of the people. Gas is going to be at a freaking all-time high, all right? And for you to fill up a 5-gallon tank, that shit going to turn into easy $40, you know? Easy $40, $30. When you're supposed to just be going over there and getting what? Like a little $5, $10 to put into a you know, into a gas holder. All right, and you can only hold so many of those things. You don't want to have your house filled with a bunch of you know, gas tanks, causing a flammable you know, scenario there. Then it'll be so damn hot with this damn devil, the way he controls HARP and he controls the weather. You know, you out there trying to save gas, putting it, storing it in a spot, because you damn sure can't put that in your house, you know. But you out there trying to put it in a certain spot, and it's so hot that shit might just catch on fire sitting outside or sitting in your damn garage, especially if the power gets cut off. And again, people don't like the heat. People get nasty when the heat come out, man. So it says Asia's heat wave has caused hours-long daily blackouts, putting more than 1 billion people at risk across Pakistan, Myanmar, Sri Lanka, and India, with little relief in sight. 6 Texas power plants failed earlier this month as the summer heat just began to arrive. See, power plants, which, again, all set up through the elites, man. You mean to tell me with all the technology these damn devils have, they couldn't come out with something to cool off these power plants? You know? So when certain heat hits them and temperatures hit them, they're able to, you know, pretty much cool themselves off. But it just goes to show you how this damn devil coming. It says, as the summer heat just began to arrive, offering a preview of what's to come. And hey, the Lord is giving you previews on a normal basis, man. The Lord is showing you on a daily basis what's about to come to America with all these other countries, with all these things that are happening internationally. And America's being saved for last. That's why it says that it's going to be a time under the whole heaven that has never been seen, man. A time of trouble that has never been seen on the whole entire earth. And the Lord making sure that he's saving that for Babylon the Great. Okay? These other countries is getting hell too, but ain't nothing going to be like when Babylon gets smacked, man. So it says, at least a dozen U.S. states from California to the Great Lakes are at electricity outages this summer. All right, and you got basically a diesel shortage out on the East Coast. You're gonna have in the Central America. I mean, not Central America, Slovakia. In the central time zone, basically. All right, the middle of America, you're having a lot of what? You're gonna have a lot of droughts. You're gonna have a lot of blackouts. Then in the west side, you got a lot of you got shortage on water. You see, different scenarios happen in the different states, which eventually they will all come together. They will all merge together, making it what? Making that perfect storm. All right. So it says at least a dozen U.S. states from California to the Great Lakes are at risk of electricity outages this summer. Power supplies will be tight in China and Japan. South Africa is poised for a record year of power cuts. And Europe is in the precarious position that's held up by Russia. If Moscow cuts off natural gas to the region, that could trigger rolling outages in some countries. All right? And of course, blame it on Russia. Blame it on everybody else other than Babylonian government. Okay? Shalom, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shabbat. So it says, war and sanctions are disrupting supply and demand, and that's coupled with extreme weather and economic rebound from the 1-9 boosting power demand. It says the confluence of so many factors is quite unique. I can't recall the last time they all happened together. And I was just saying that eventually it's all gonna happen together, man. It's all gonna blend in one. And it's gonna be happening. All these things that are happening are gonna happen together in America in the same states. Every state is gonna be going through it. Then it says why blackouts bring suffering and economic pain. Without power, human welfare would be under duress. All right? Poverty, age, and proximity to the equator will increase the likelihood of illness and death from unrelenting temperatures. Which, again, these devils, man, look. These devils got shit in the sky that we can't see. If I'm correct, I'm not too sure about it. But I believe I remember me reading something about how these devils got mirrors in the sky, almost like a Project Bluebeam, all right, where they're able to put a thin layer of a mirror of glass in the sky, so when the sun shines, it actually makes it hotter than what it is. You know, it's like almost taking a magnifying glass, all right, and when you put it on something, it burns that shit away when you're pointing it at the sun. Well, they have something like that in the sky. And that's not far-fetched, man. Anything is possible with this damn devil nowadays. So when the time comes that there's no power in the house and it's just hot as hell outside, and then it's supposed to be 98, but it feels like 120, that's probably the reason why. These little super technologies they got. All right? It says, prolonged outages would mean that 10 of thousands may also lose access to clean water. Because why? Heat causes droughts. All right? Moisture, all right, being in still water, especially if it's a man-made lake and it's not a water that's running off of actual like rocks, like a stream. The best water is like mountain water, stream water, creek water, you know, because it's constantly flowing. And then it's flowing off of rocks. That's how you get minerals out of that shit, man. But if it's in a spot where it's just standing still and the heat is beaming on it, it causes bacteria, it causes algae, you know? It just causes a lot of filthiness in the water. So it says if blackouts persist and businesses shutter, that will also bring huge economic shock. In India, power outages in many states are already nearing levels from 2014, when they were estimated to have shaved about 5% off the country's gross domestic product. That would mean a reduction of almost 100 billion should the outages become more widespread and last through the year. A run on electricity would also likely contribute to more gains for power and fuel markets, raising utility bills and further fanning inflation. Can you imagine? See, because let's say half of America is out, it has no power, but the other half does. now these people losing money. These companies are losing money. So now they're gonna come and raise your bills up, man. I just seen that shit with the winter time, man. My bills was high as hell. I live in my house by myself. And my shit was like, there was a couple times my shit reached like 400. You know, my gas bill, 400. That's insane, man. I live by myself. My temperature's set at a certain temperature. You know, but because of this economy falling, it gives it the chance to bring everything up, bring prices up on all things. All right, just not food, just not on the necessities that we really need, but everything that's around us, man. Even fucking clothes is going up. You see? Because people get smarter, they need supplies, they need certain supplies, you know? And then whatever the supply is that's pretty much popular at the moment or popping, that's when they're able to what? Yank up prices on you. You see? So it says when plants on the Texas power grid failed this month, wholesale power prices in Houston briefly jumped above the 5,000 a megawatt hour price cap, surging 22 times higher than the average cost of on-peak power that had been secured for the day. Okay? And it says soaring demand. It says India's power demand is soaring above historic seasonal highs. All right? January to April, man, that shit reached up to 200 gigawatts, where last year it was around 170. Okay? It says the world is grappling with more than 2 years of global supply chain distress caused by the pandemic. And that just goes to show you that nothing's been the same since 2020. It's only been getting worse and worse. So when you got people that strongly believe that they're going to go back to normal, that things is going to be all right, it's like, how do you see that shit? That's how you know the Lord blinded you, yo. Because ever since 2020, ain't nothing been the same. Everything's only getting worse, worse and worse. Prices are going up more and more. All right? We're losing things that we constantly need, such as foods, you know? Even the cost of living just itself, your rent is going up, mortgage is going up, property taxes going up. All right? It says, the spreading fallout from the war in Ukraine and extreme weather caused by climate change said, oh, Salaki, let me read it again. The world is grappling with more than 2 years of global supply chain distress caused by the pandemic, the spreading fallout from the war in Ukraine and extreme weather caused by climate change. An analyst at Eurasia Group, at the Eurasia Group, the main risk is that if we see major blackouts on top of all the aforementioned problems this year, that could trigger some form of humanitarian crisis in terms of food and energy shortages on a scale not seen in decades. That's the Lord showing you a time that's basically a time that has never been seen upon the earth, man. Because you best believe that those are going to be broken records. There's going to be a whole lot of records being broken in heat, weather, you know, and famine, droughts. You hear it all the time. It says how the energy transition brings strain. It says this year might enter the record books. It's the spiritual. This year is going to enter the record books, yeah, because there's going to be a whole bunch of records being broken. It says this year might enter the record books for the biggest ever strain on global power, but the hurdles aren't likely to go away anytime soon. Climate change means that the extreme heat waves of today will become more common, continuing to mount pressure on electricity supplies. At the same time, a lack of investment in fossil fuels in recent years, coupled with strong demand growth, especially in Asia emerging markets, should keep markets tight for the next few years, said Alex Whitworth, an analyst with Wood Mackenzie Ltd. in Shanghai. It says, and while wind and solar's share of total capacity is expected to soar over the next decade until energy shortage facilities catch up to the shift, which ain't gonna be no damn decade, man. We ain't gonna make it to no decade. Lord willing, we out of here this year. Brother put up, I went to 7-Eleven last night. Hot Cheetos are $2.29, bro. That's crazy. Little 50-cent bag, bro. Little 50-cent bag that should be, you know, no more than $1. You know, they charging you $2.29. On top of it, this shit is not even good food. You see? It says the good old days were 99 cents. Exactly. You know, depending where you at, you get it cheaper. So I know around my way, you go to Susie's, you get that shit for like 50 cents. But those days are over. The good old days is over. You see? That's what the New World Order is about. In order for them to bring in that New World Order, they have to get rid of the old order. So the old days are done with, man. The good old days are done with, and now comes in the stressful days. All right? Go all over, bro. Yeah, shit. It says, and while wind and solar shares, and you know what's crazy? You know, it's not even too bad to go and invest in solar panels, man. You see, you got these rich motherfuckers that be able to, you know, buy these things, afford these things, and what are they doing? They're putting solar panels all over their house. So when the time comes that power outages is out, they ain't got nothing to worry about. Their whole house is filled with solar panels, man. But see, not everybody can afford that. You know, damn sure Jake ain't about to afford that. Or maybe they could afford it, but they much rather go buy themselves some new Jordans. You know? They much rather go buy themselves some rims for a whip. You know, stupid little things like that. That Jake don't know how to save up their money and spend it on something that's useful. All right? But, hey, if you got the money, it'd probably be the right time to do it. Go. You don't got to invest in your whole house being solar panel. But, you know, certain parts of the house with solar panels where you're able to, you know, connect things to that. Get that light, that electricity. All right? So it says, and while wind and solar shares are of total capacity is expected to soar over the next decade until energy storage facilities catch up to the shift, that will place even more stress on grids, he said. You'll be facing a supply scare every time there's clouds or storms or wind droughts for a week, Whitworth said. We really expect these problems to get worse in the next 5 years. And again, Lord willing, we don't have 5 years out here, man. We want to get up out of here now. It says, of course, the switch to renewable power is crucial in the fight against climate change. Burning even more coal now to cope with the energy shortage would just increase emissions, creating a vicious cycle that can lead to more heat waves and more strain on grids. Okay? It says supplies of natural gas, the #1 power plant fuel in the U.S., are constrained nationwide and prices are soaring. Power in much of the country and part of Canada will be stretched, according to the North American Electric Reliability Corporation. It's among the most dire assessments yet from the regulatory body. Consumers will be asked to step up to help keep the grid stable by curtailing their consumption. Right? It says in California, the most populous state, Gas supplies are clipped even further because of pipeline rupture last year that has limited imports. Plus, climate change is fueling drought, severely curbing hydropower supplies. The California Independent System Operator said this month that the next state may be at risk of blackouts for the next few summers amid extreme weather. All right. All right, talking about Asia, right? But you get the point, man. The point is that blackouts are coming to America in the summertime, man, and they're gonna get you at the worst time possible. This devil, it ain't nothing for this devil to just hit the switch, all right, and just turn off the power, man. He's in control of everything. If we're living in the fourth industrial revolution, which is the Internet of Things, that means that all things around us is connected to the internet somehow. So they have control through the touch of a button, man, to just turn these things off. Right? Brother put, no joke, Salakia, 2nd Ezra 15:18, and because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, and houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Exactly. And that's what's going to happen. These people going to panic when these lights get cut off, man. And that's just going to bring lawlessness, man. That's going to bring out them thieves, them rapists, them murderers. You know? They're going to start running up in your homes. That's when these devils going to start running up in your homes. Also, you know, you got the red list, the blue list, the yellow list. You know? That's why they really want to cut off power. They want to get to the men of the Lord. They're not worried about 2/3. They know 2/3 got to die. They want the men of the Lord. They want to put the men of the Lord to the test, along with the few sisters that's in this truth. Brother put, no joke, Aki had just seen a brand new hat laying on the street, and it says endless summer. Wow. Spiritual, man. Everything is spiritual. And when things happening like that, right? That shit gonna feel like it's endless. That summer's gonna be the longest summer ever. It ain't gonna be no hot girl, hot boy summer, man. It ain't gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna be out there chilling on the beach and doing this shit. You know? You got these people with that stupid ass spirit. Yeah, we outside, we out here. Yeah, all right. We want to see that shit when the power's cut off. And it's 12 o'clock at night. All right? And all you got is a bunch of purgers pretty much running around in the streets, man. High as hell, breaking into to stores, looting. All right, breaking into these liquor stores. Man, matter of fact, let me get a scripture on that. This is Isaiah 60:2. And it says, for behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. But the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee. Yeah, because we're going to have a light to us, a certain light. Through the midst of all this darkness, brothers that's spiritually in tune with Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, and the sisters also that are spiritually in tune, we're going to have a certain aura, a certain light around us, man. All right, the earth is going to be covered in darkness. The people, gross darkness, which gross darkness really goes into them having lack of intelligence, having no stability. All right, but at the end of the day, gross darkness is going to cover them, like that evil darkness, that evil spirit is just going to be covered over them, because people going to go into panic mode, man. And like I said in the last video, desperate times calls for desperate measures. So it's going to force people to act on instinct in a certain way. And who knows, that might be the time when Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua bring out them vivid apparitions, you know, because it's straight darkness in the earth. You know? Just read Wisdom of Solomon, I believe it's the 17th chapter, man. How you had these Egyptians where men's hearts were failing them from fear. You see? With the shit they saw. See, you had these magi's and all these magicians, wizards and warlocks in the time of Egypt that were doing all types of wicked ass, you know, witchcrafts. But then the Lord came back and hit them with something even worse. Had them shook. Here it is. These damn devils are warlocks and wizards doing witchcraft. But then when they got hit with some witchcraft from the Lord, they couldn't handle it. So I wouldn't doubt that the Lord bring out straight vivid apparitions in those times, man, when it's completely dark, them unknown beasts, you know, newly created creatures coming out of the midst of darkness, man. But let me grab another little article. All right. Not even going to get into the article. I'm just going to read you how many times they keep mentioning blackouts. 2 days ago, California faces summer blackouts for climate extremes. 1 day ago, renewable energy dependence could lead to rolling blackouts in Michigan this summer. 3 days ago, energy crisis, blackouts expected this summer across the U.S. due to extreme temperatures. 4 days ago, blackouts possible this summer because of heat, weather this summer regulator. All right. I can't read the rest because, you know, I got to go into the article. But 4 days ago, facing a sizzling summer, large parts of the U.S. risk blackouts. How many times did they see? Here it is that the government themselves is telling you this shit. The news is telling you this shit. And we've been telling you this shit since 2020, basically. Elders and apostles been telling you this for 30 plus years. Certain brothers been telling you for 10 plus years. And you still don't believe it. You see? Jake will not make a move until that shit hits them right in their face. Then they gonna want to repent. Then they won't gonna make a move. But by then, by the time you try to get right, it's gonna be too late, man. You have to seek the Lord while he may be found, man. You have to seek the Lord early. You can't. Jake never on time for anything, bro. Jake always late for everything, you know? And by the time you guys wake up, it's going to be too late because the destruction is going to be upon you already. You see? But it says, 5 days ago, most of U.S. at risk of blackouts. Most of U.S. at risk of blackouts this summer. Okay? It says 106 days ago, 100 million Americans are at risk of blackouts this summer as heat and drought strain power grid. And we can't make this up, man. You've been warned over and over and over and over again. But all you do is laugh, scoff, despise, you know, talk shit. And again, all unfaithful going to die in their unfaithfulness, man. You see? We don't make this up, man. The Lord put the spirit in us to bring it out. Okay? And you're misusing the prophets. And by you misusing the prophets, if you have a problem with the prophets, that means you have a problem with Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. All right? But, hey, that's pretty much the point. All right? There's no need to go any further than that. We see it. We hearing it. Reading you article after article. Every day they keep reminding you. And that's almost like that countdown that the Lord has given you to letting you know we're about to enter Jacob's trouble. All right? So that summer vacation that you have your hopes on, okay? Yeah, let it go. It's a wrap on that. That summer body you women want, that summer body that you've been getting ready for, Yeah. Put that shit back in the closet. Put that shit away. Okay? You're doing all this wrong shit for the wrong reasons, man. All right? So, Lord willing that the lesson was edifying. So, with that being said, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Paul Halo and Blah, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakudash, double honors to the elders and apostles, a great millstone who do well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that scattered abroad, the Akim and the Aquat that was listening in. Yahweh Ratazah, Lord willing that the lesson was edifying. To the next one, Shalom. The water brother for tuning in, the water from the scripture. Keep fighting that good fight of faith and doing as a good soldier of Yahushai. Keep that spirit fervent. All right, we almost up out of here. Bob the ball. All right, soon. Shalom, shalom.